Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you the result of my rose cutting. I planted 5 of them and nearly all of them have started to grow. So let me tell you some tips and tricks which I followed, and this is a 15 days result, and definitely the roots haven't developed as of now. We have to keep it in this spot for around 60 days so that the proper roots can be developed. Do not go by this initial shooting, because the stems will have the energy and it will throw new shoots very easily. Okay, so after that you have to wait for at least one more shoot to come, then you will be pretty sure that the roots have developed properly. Okay, so let's start with the basics. I have been trying to grow rose cuttings since more than 2 years, and a couple of times I failed because of the rotting which happens from the bottom, or it dries out from the top. So these are two main things which happens: either it dries out from the top, or it starts to get blacked out from the bottom. Okay, so these are the two things. So this is my I think 8-inch pot which I purchased, and in that I have planted 5 cuttings. So when you go to take out your cutting from the mother plant, make sure you take a cutting which is of little more than a pencil thickness size. Okay, so if you look at this one, it is good enough to hold the moisture and the food material, okay, inside that. Do not choose very softwood cutting, or do not choose very hardwood cutting like this. I did not want to waste it, I want to try, that's why I have kept it. But if you have an option, always prefer to take this one. This is called semi hardwood cutting. Okay, so the success rate of these three will be higher than these two. Okay, because if it is too hard, the roots does not develop very easily. Now the next thing would be, when you cut it from the main branch, you have to cut it at a 45-degree angle and just below the node. So let's say if this is called the node area, wherever you see the new shoots coming up. Okay, so these are called the node area. Whenever you need to cut right below the shoot. Okay, so that when you dip it into the soil media, it will not be it's easy for node to give up the roots from there. Okay, and third thing is you have to sterilize your cutter. Okay, so if you are using a pruner or cutter, make sure you sterilize it with any hydrogen peroxide or any hand sanitizer that are available in our home. Okay, because if it has some fungus or some bacteria, it will start to replicate over to your cutting. Okay, and then for better success results, you can always, I recommend trying this rooting hormone. You will get it from nearby agricultural shop for just 40 rupees, and for a learning purpose, you would not want to get demotivated. So I always recommend to choose this. Number 3 is for for rose and hibiscus, and it generally works for most of the plants that we try in the home. So just remember, do not take number 1, it will be for very softwood cutting. Choose number 3. Okay, and you'll get it easily. Do not try to go online, because online the simple things actually they sell it for a very high price. So in terms of agricultural things, I have found that going to a nearby nursery is more value for money. Then what happens is, when the media that you choose to grow, I choose coco peat because it has a very good moisture holding capacity. So, and it is very light. If you look at it, if I just dig little bit, it's so easy, I don't have to put any effort over there. Now if you put it into normal clay soil, what happens, the root system cannot grow very easily, because it has to penetrate that soil, and initially it takes time. So the number of days it takes to success the cutting increases. So if you can buy a coco peat block of 50 rupees for 1 kg very easily from the local nursery, and very little of it is needed. Okay, so remember, it holds a lot of water. So whenever you try to soak it into the water, after that squeeze it and then fill into this pot. Don't do is like fill the pot and keep on pouring the water, because after that it will hold a lot of water that your cutting will start to rot from the bottom. Okay, so always squeeze it and then fill it up tightly into this. And then also I recommend to invest in a soft fungicide, because this is a very good fungicide. If you look at this blue color thing on the top, this is fungicide. This I have put onto bottom. And also what I do whenever I try to moist the cocoa peat initially, I put in that water, I mix this soft fungicide, so that, because cocoa peat catches the fungus very fastly because of high moisture. The good thing about using cocoa peat is whenever we take out the cutting after the result, it's very easy to take out it. The soil is very loose type, and we mix the fungicide water in that, so that it's safe. And on the top as well, I put the fungicide, so that it doesn't dry out and it doesn't have fungus issue. After that, do not water that time to time. Only water when you see it dried completely enough from the top, and put little bit of a water, not much. So you have to make sure that you don't pour 1 glass of water whenever you see some dryness, because inside it will be moist. So in my experience, even in summertime, it holds the water for at least 15 days very nicely. And keep it into semi shade area wherein the direct sunlight shouldn't come, because these guys don't have the roots. It should get early morning or late evening, the shady area you have to keep, where direct sunlight doesn't come on top of this. And do never ever try to be in a hurry, because patience is the key to success of the cuttings. Most people, even I did that, whenever I get these things, I try to take out and see if roots have grown. I'm telling you, in 15 days there will be no rooting started, even though you can see the shoots. So what happens if you remove them once or make them move here and there, then it is gonna fail for sure. So you have to make sure that it is intact at one place. Do not move the cutting. I mean, you can move this part, but don't move the cuttings. Okay, and remember to invest in this fungicide. It is 50 rupees, and then this 40 rupees, and a sanitizer, and a sharp cutter, okay, which has a sharp cut like this. This was a very hardwood cutting, and that's why this does not work in a sharp manner, and you can see it doesn't look good. Okay, so it should come like this. And if you have a secateurs, you can use that as well, because it has only one-sided. This pruner actually has one side blade, you can say. Other side is just normal, so sometimes it doesn't give the proper cut. Okay, yeah, so these are things that if you follow, there will be higher success rates. So I wish you happy gardening.